You know, we'll address our club here in the next couple of weeks, and when you're looking around that room, you always know you're going to need more than 25 guys. You always know you're probably going to need more than 12 or 13 pitchers over the course of the year. We feel like within our organization we have the depth to be able to cover that. Now, obviously, we need to stay relatively healthy. It's inevitable that guys are going to go down here and there, but if we can remain relatively healthy with the starters that we have, we think it's a special group.
Aaron Judge said that he was willing to move to center field if you guys signed Bryce Harper. How do you feel when you hear that?
I would think that was just Judgy having some fun at the Super Bowl. Judgy would do a lot of things for the team, but I don't know. I think that was just probably pressed in the corner at the Super Bowl, and he gave a good answer. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about that.
I mean, you wouldn't consider it?
I wouldn't consider it.
Like moving him there
to center. I don't think that scenario is a realistic one for us at this point.
Do you want Bryce Harper?
Do I? I want everybody. Obviously he's a great player, but I think our team is pretty much set. Obviously things happen that force Brian and his staff to pivot on certain things, but I think it's safe to assume that we're going to spring training with the team that we expect to have.
So, Aaron, is it your understanding then that there won't be any further pursuit of either Harper or Machado?
I mean, that's a question for Brian. I mean, you never say never with anything, but I would also say we're anticipating that we have a great team right now and feel like we have a complete team that's ready to go compete for a championship.
Does it surprise you that neither one has landed with an organization yet?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I guess if you would have asked me to start, I probably would have thought they'd have landed it at some point before now, but you never know the twists and turn that an off-season takes, and some teams, sometimes it's about having the right clubs in on certain things, and so I guess I'm a little bit surprised, but you never know how these winters unfold and where the market goes and what teams are involved and what players are actually looking for. Those are all a lot of times personal things that we don't always account for.
Are you surprised by the lack of movement in Boston by the Red Sox?
Not really. I mean, I think their payroll was one pretty far up there, and obviously, the way the luxury tax works and the penalties that exist, and especially when you start really going up high, I'm not really surprised, especially when you have a great core of players that they certainly have and know that are going to come due in some regard. But they made a pretty big splash with Evaldi there early and bringing back the World Series MVP. So they've done some things, but I think considering the core of players they have that are probably coming due, I don't think it's a huge surprise.
At what point did you know the Yankees were going to go back above the luxury tax with the moves you made this winter?
I guess when we finally went over, because there's never, with us, never that necessarily that mandate, no, we're not doing this. It's always, where the winter, where the market, where our needs take us. And I think Steinbrenner family's always shown a willingness to give us the best opportunity to be a great club, and we feel like we have a chance to be that right now.
And since we last talked to you, what do Ottavino and LeMahieu give to you that you didn't have before?
Well, I think with Ottavino, obviously he's a dynamic reliever, a back-end reliever with great stuff, but I think he gives us a little bit of a different look too. With Dellin, with Green, despite being right-handed, they're actually both better at getting lefties out. Same with Robertson last year, more of a lefty. I think Ottavino gives us that high-leverage reliever that's a kind of a righty assassin too. Not that he can't get lefties out, because he's shown that as well, but I think he allows us to have some really different and unique looks within our pen. When you think about Chappie at the back end, Dellin, what he brings, Britton with a sinker ball, Ottavino with that wipeout slider from the right side, Greeny with his ability to pitch up in the zone, especially to left-handed hitters. We have a lot of different looks from a lot of really good pitchers.
Aaron, are you satisfied that front office and ownership has done enough to close the gap between you guys and the Red Sox?
Yeah, I think we have a chance to be a great club, and that's all you can ask for. And I think it's hard to deny. You look at the winter we've had and where we've shored up in areas. I thought Cash going out and making the trade early in the winter for Paxton was a really good move and allowed us to be patient and kind of rebuilding our staff a little bit. I really love the depth that we've been able to add, and feel like in a lot of ways we're a complete team right now and have a chance to go out and do something special, which we get to start next week.
Tell us a little bit about that infield depth and what's your plan headed into the spring, when fans maybe see Torres at shortstop,
Right.
where will you move Mayhew?
Well, obviously we have Troy Tulowitzki. He's healthy. But even, best case scenario with Troy, having not really been on the field for a year and a half, he's going to need days off. And so we feel like in those situations, Glaber will be able to slide over to short. That gets LeMahieu. It allows us to really have kind of a 10, 11-man rotation for 9 spots. So it keeps, we believe, everyone playing regularly, but also being able to keep guys fresh, hopefully more healthy over the long haul, and having a guy or two on the bench every night that's a really good player.
Sanchez, while he's been working out in Tampa, hasn't taken on-field batting practice. Is he under any restrictions now or at the beginning of the spring?
He's getting real close. Actually, I think he hit in the cage though off, pitch batting practice in the cage today. So he'll be hitting on the field probably when we start. We may slow play him a little bit the first week of Grapefruit League games, but no, he's doing really well. In fact, the report I just got today was feeling really well.
And what's your latest Didi report on trying to guess when he's back?
So Didi had his checkup, I believe, Monday or yesterday, and everything's going well, going as according to plan. But we're going to listen to the injury. So whether that's a couple more months, whether that's when it is, it'll be. But it's going according to plan. It's healing properly. I know he's getting ready to start his throwing program when he leaves here and goes back down to Tampa. He was cleared for that. So everything's moving in the right direction. And obviously, what about Didi, he's going to do everything he can to be ready. And he's just one of those tough, grinded-out players that, I tend to bet on him being ready a little sooner than later.
What's your comfort level about the job as opposed to a year ago today?
Obviously, I'm way more familiar with everything to do with our organization, with our team. From my relationship with Cash and the front office, who everybody is, what everybody's role is, how to best utilize them, where to go for if I need this answered, all the way down to the relationships I have now with our players, with our coaches, staff members, people behind the scenes. Hopefully, and getting to spend a winter here of kind of brainstorming and talking through ideas and things that we want to be able to implement. Hopefully we're a finely tuned machine more so than we were a year ago.
Hi, the Thurman Munson Awards honor achievements on the field and off the field. So tell us about your participation with the Yankees. Hopefully,
That's one of the great weeks of the year, and something that makes you feel proud to be a part of. And it's really cool that the Yankees have taken up that initiative, and to see, one of the things with Didi being here tonight. We were paired up together last year, and to see him out in the community, to see him, the way he's able to interact, the kind of effect he has on children, adults alike, was one of the highlights of the year for me, to see him and the way he is with people in the community.
You said you were into the history. Tell the audience a little bit about that Boone Bino curse.
That's over with now. The Red Sox have won a lot of championships since then, but I think one of the really cool things about being a Yankee is to be able to be a part of the rivalry that is between the Red Sox and the Yankees, and to be able to play in those games, now manage in those games, is special and something you don't take lightly.
And lastly, for the youth of today, they're all getting, I know my nephews are all getting ready for baseball and going to schools. Do you have any advice or any little tips to all those youngsters out there?
Make sure you're having the time of your life when you're out there playing ball with your buddies. And that's one of the messages I deliver to my players, even at this level. You know, there's a lot at stake, there's a lot on the line, but it's important to remember that this game was designed for us to have fun at, and that's an important thing, to not get lost. More for the parents.
And I'm Kristal Hart, reporting on the Thurman Munson Awards ceremony here in Midtown, New York City. Hope you've enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.